Hi, this is Coggie, and welcome to episode 5, season 2 of the High Fiber Diet. Oh wow, it is March 1st, so white rabbit, and all that jazz. Pinch poke, beginning of the new month. All the good lucks. I have a tea in my cup, so find yours. This is a podcast about knitting, crochet, sometimes spinning, sometimes food, family, fun. Yeah, so I've been a little bit busy in the last 2 weeks since my last confession. And yeah, how do we do this? You know, each time I open up the mic, it's a little bit different. So I'm in West Michigan, right on the shores of Lake Michigan in Grand Haven, and there's snow on the ground. It's starting to melt. It's a beautiful day. It's probably in the 40s today. And I had to go out for a dental appointment, had that done. They found 2 fillings that are cracking my teeth, so I'm going to have to go in and get those replaced. I have an appointment in 2 weeks to get that done. I was supposed to go live this week, but I have an interview during the time that I was supposed to go live, so I will not be doing that. And right after that, I have a class that I will be taking, and it's a 3-day class, so online. So I won't have time. So I figured, why not right now? This is my second take of this because Sarge called in the middle of it because he found a toy he wanted to buy, and he wanted the okay, not that I'm his mom, but we discuss anything over a certain price, and he got that okay. But I can't complain to him about buying stuff when, you know, I buy things and use them, so it is what it is. Since my last confession, I have knit this sweater. Yes, in less than 2 weeks, I did the Owl Sweater by Kate Davies. It's a very old pattern, I'd say early 2000s. One of her first ones she put up on Ravelry, I believe. And you can get it off Ravelry too. She doesn't just sell on Ravelry, but it's called the Owls. But you can also, if you look at them, the cable workup, it can also look like a bunny. It's done in the same. But I did it as owls. I put the eyes on one owl. Her pattern has it all the way around, and I'm not doing that. I'm going to stand up. It is knit bottom up, and then you put on the sleeves, and then you do the yoke. It calls for a 2x2 ribbing. I did a 1x1 twisted rib for all of my ribbing. I did just what it calls for, 16 inches. And then the arms I did a little bit different. I prefer to decrease rapidly to the elbow and then knit flat, or if I'm knitting down, I knit flat and then decrease from the elbow down. This was knit up though. Put the sleeves on with a row or two, and then you do the cables going up, and those are done nicely. Then I did a 1x1. I did do short rows in the back, and it only called for 4 rows of short rows, and I did 6. So did I do 6 or 8? No, I did 8. So it sits much higher in the back than it does in the front, and I like the way it hugs my neck there. So yeah, the reason I picked this up and I needed something that was just mindless knitting was last week I went in to my regular doctor's appointment, and I had a biopsy on my face here. All of the scabbing is now gone, but I haven't gotten results back yet. Fingers crossed I will. But yeah, that spot that's been there had begun to bloom out, and the doctor didn't like the looks of it. So she took a biopsy and did, is it liquid nitrogen, I think? And all around, because I'm allergic to alkane, so I can't do a topical painkiller. So yeah, that was done. So it's been a little bit of a week here, or 2 weeks. And yeah, so this was one. What did I knit it in? I knit it in wool spun, and this is from Lion Brand. And the color I did was charcoal. I picked up 9 skeins of it, and I have just about, with the excess here and the little bit I took out of that one, just a little over 3 skeins left. And I'm not sure what this will be. It is a bulky 5 yarn, and there's only 127 yards per skein. I did this up in a size 50, but as you can see, it is, you know, 50 is still swimming on me, but it is a nice, I wanted a sweatshirt, like, you know, not a hoodie, but a sweatshirt feel of a sweater. And I went out today, no coat, no nothing, when I ran to the dentist, and I did a little bit of grocery shopping and things like that. And even with the winds coming off the lake, this was fine. Plenty of warmth. It is the same makeup as what Woolies is, but this one has a feel a lot like acrylic when you're knitting with it. I think the drape and the softness afterwards is better. They stopped making wool spun for a while, and when I saw that it was out, I had to grab some up to see if it was as good as it used to be, and it is. And washer, dryer, of course wash on cool, dry on low, but yeah, and then I sewed on the buttons. So very easy to work with. I like the length of the sleeves. I did everything per pattern except for the changing and the extra short rows. So yeah, that was number 1. Number 2, I had finished the knitting last time we talked, but I got the buttons in. And so I picked up some, just a shade darker than denim buttons for the front of this. And I like the way that it has come out. I'm really happy with this, with a pair of jeans and a little t-shirt on underneath it. It's a very nice sweater to wear. I've worn it a couple times. This is the pixelated cardigan from Knit Collage. It is done in an acrylic from Premier, and then a cotton, I can't remember the name of the acrylic, but go back in last week's and you're gonna have it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. Then it has a cotton, I think it's a cotton sari silk. It's like a gauze, real thin. It's Wildflowers from Knit Collage is the type of fabric yarn it is. And it knit up relatively quickly as well. So I think that's 2 sweaters in February. That's not bad. I also finished my sister's favorite things from the Cozy Up Knits, and this is done in Knit Crate Twinkle, and I had the roller skate colorway, which is like a gray, and it does have a shimmer of twinkle in it. And then I forget the yarn on this too, but it's in the last episode. These are Harry Potter colorways, and I did not use the Dumbledore at the bottom. I just have the house colors. And so this is completely finished. It is blocked, and it does go beyond my wingspan on both sides. It is nice and long. My only problem with this is, as you can see at the top right here, the garter stitch tab, and I blocked the heck out of it, and it still has that little lump. And that's, I found that with a 6 pickup or less, you will get that bump. I prefer a 10 to a 12 just to make it a little bit flatter. But I also did my technique on this, and you know, it works either way. I've always gotten a lump there, but I did short rows, so I don't have to go back and pick up all the stitches. Everything's still on the needles, and you just short row it. Very easy. But when you wear it, you know, I can just fold that down. It's not noticeable. Put that on, toss this over. I was wearing it earlier this week. I threw a shawl pin right here, and all the colors are showing and everything else. So that's really cool. You're supposed to make it up with only 2 colors, either a DK and a fingering, each in the same, or you can do DK and mohair or alpaca silk or whatever. So I do have it finished. It wasn't finished in time for anything, but I like it. It will probably become a gift. It's not one that I'm going to wear often. It's just not a shape that, you know, it was fun to knit. I'll say that. But for me, wearing them, I have found that this crescent shape, unless it's the small, like I've done the, what's the high-speed knitting based off the Ice high-speed TGV. My earball itches. I don't know why. I've done that, but I've done it smaller to where it just comes here and I can tuck it underneath my coat, and I like that. But this one, it's just a bit much for me. I either want them really big to where I can wrap them around like they're a part of a blanket, schlanket, as they say. I'm just picky. I like knitting shawls. I like knitting sweaters a lot more, and I knit socks, but shawls are just something I don't wear that often, so it is what it is. On my needles right now, I have the Libby, and this is done out of Gloss from Knit Picks in the Velveteen colorway, which is this dusty rose mauve color. Do you say mauve or do you say mauve? Heard it both ways. Don't know. Wow, it's caught up. I did get to the point where I separated for the sleeves. I talked about it last episode. I had made a mistake and this was making me angry, but I've got it back. And I am now, this has drop stitches and a very wide ballerina neckline, so it's going to be shoulder width. And I am beyond the sleeves and just did another drop and picked up 4 or added the stitches to do the next drop. Something was in my knitting bag. But I am doing this on, I think these are Knitter's Pride Rosewood, not sure. But I have the sleeves put on holders and just going around and doing the stitches every so often. And yeah, so this is a test knit. It's the Libby top, L-I-V-I, by You Need I Knit. And she did provide the yarn, so I wanted to say that. Knit Picks provided the yarn. And it is, again, the gloss. And not exactly sure how many. I think there were 12 skeins of this. And I will be doing the short sleeve, but full length. I don't, even cropped, I want it more length than what most cropped is. So I am using a bag that was made for me by Jackie Trimbley out of a swap a couple years ago. Thoroughly enjoy this bag. And the whole sweater fits in. Of course, the yarn is in my craft room. But this fits nicely in the bag that can just sit here on the couch. I need to crank this out this week. Hopefully I will have it done by the end of the week. It's just knitting at this point and then doing sleeves. So all my increases and everything is done. Also on my needles and hooks, I have a baby coming up. Boo's best friend, Lily, is expecting number 2. And I had picked up this yarn thinking, I wasn't sure what I was going to make with it. It is Big Twist. It's an acrylic. It's a lot like the old Jiffy where it looks mohairy very, very halo, but completely machine washable. And so I am doing a granny square, and then I will do some sort of, it's a little boy, so I will do some sort of a border, not too lacy, not too frilly, but because frill and lace wouldn't be great in this kind of yarn anyways. So that's what I chose. I have 2 skeins of it, and I am using a 5.5 millimeter hook. I like the inline, and yeah, so do I have, yeah, I do have one more thing. Sarge came home this last weekend, and we did some running. He wants to pick up a new car, so we were looking to test drive some and didn't find a single one in the style that he wants to test drive, even new, so we didn't do that. But I was knitting, oh, here's the Harry Potter yarn, is Story Weaver yarns in the very hairy color, Christmas colorway. Sorry about that. That is on that shawl. But I am using Regia Perfect Kids Colors sock yarn, but I am doing adult size socks. I thought maybe I'd go mittens, which I could, but this is one whole. And I think I might just add a white top and do these tubes for bed socks, because I've been needing some bed socks. I did cast on Crazy 8 style and did wedge increases. The first 3 increases were one right after the other, and then after that I did every other row. No changes after that, up to 64 stitches, and then straight knitting. And I have exactly 1/2 of the ball left, and it will work up the same way. I was originally going to go and just knit the whole tube, and then I thought about it, and one would be knit from bottom up and one would be knit from top down, and I like my socks to sort of match in the way that the stitches are. So I am not going to. I am using a I Heart You stinky bag, so it's got the little stinker on it. I love this bag. And that's I Heart You. I believe she's on Etsy. And I am using sock sticks to knit those. I love my DPNs, and so I use them. Then we go into stitching. And on stitching this week for embroidery from Hook, Line, and Tinker, I finished up the reindeer, and I love the way it came out. Are there mistakes? Absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not, because my motto for this year is perfectly imperfect, and that's who I am, learning new things and moving forward. So this is going to go into the Christmas stuff, and it will be a wall ornament for Christmas time, and I love that. And I was gonna start the other Hook, Line, and Tinker, but I decided not to, because I had this that I haven't done up yet, and it is a cotton thread, but I have a lot of that blue left over, so I may do the coffee mug in blue and all the wording and everything in white, because it's supposed to be all black and white. And this is Good People Drink Good Coffee, is what it says. And I already have one up that my friend Jen made up for me 4 years ago. Might be 4 years ago, might be 5 years ago. Possibly 6. Oh my, I'm not sure when she made it, but it was around that time. That says Death Before Decaf, and that's next to our coffee maker, and I figured this will go up next to our coffee maker as well. but I don't even know where I picked it up. It is a kit from Dimensions, so it might have been Joann's that I picked it up, maybe even Hobby Lobby. It's a Stitch Wit. Good people drink good coffee. This is how it's supposed to look when it's done. But like I said, because I have the dark blue of that one left over, and I think the dark blue might pop on this black. I do have all the white, but I also have the blue. So we'll see. I just pulled it out and this will get started. I haven't done anything on it yet. I did get a needle minder. It's up on another project, the Crowell project that I'm getting ready to start. But after doing this one, I learned I need a thimble. And I don't know what kind of thimble to get. So I asked my online group that I'm working with, and a friend, my person, talked to me and she said, get a leather. So I'm like, okay. And then somebody else said to get this acrylic kind, okay, I got that, like a silicone one. And then I saw some metal ones, and some are just fingertip ones that slide over, and some are the whole cap thing like my mom used to have. And as I don't really know how to use a thimble, but I'm tired of poking my fingers, I bought all of them. There was a kit on Amazon for like less than 20 bucks, and I got a sampling of all sorts of kinds and figured, what the heck, try them out. Let's do it. So that's what I did. So those will be coming in the mail, and I'll show you the needle minder once I get that. I'm going to put this back in the bag before I forget. I did do a wee bit of shopping from You and Dye. I got Intermittent Frivolity. And this is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon fingering, 400 yards. And it's just intermittently frivolous. And so this should be amazing to work with. You can see that it's just splatters every once in a while. And I don't know what I'm going to make out of this yet. I haven't decided. I also picked up from Tuscan Knits, if you notice the kitty. I don't mind crinkles. Crinkles mean good things are coming. So you're gonna hear it here. So Tuscan Knits, I picked up her Craig Namor. It's based off of Outlander and Craig Nadun. And this colorway, 2 of them. I already have one skein, and I was going to make the rocket tee, if you remember, out of this and 2 skeins of sock weight. Yeah, I don't want to do the rocket tee, and more that I don't want to knit with mohair alone, but I have enough with these 2 and those 2 sock yarns to do held together. And in the terms of ranunculus or love note, there's a couple other patterns that I've been looking at that I own that could work up something like that, and so I'm going to do that. And she is located at TuscanKnits.com, dyed in the countryside near Seattle. And so I love this color, and it's perfectly my color. A lot of fall colors. I have this. That's my color tone. I love pink, don't get me wrong. Paler the better, but yeah. So those are my 2 purchases this time. I think that's it. Hi, I'm coming back in after the fact as I'm editing. And I'm going to let you know that this next section is not safe for kids. If you have kids watching, don't watch the next section. Language, it's me, but you know. just giving this warning here. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Now I have a couple things to talk about. How do I do this? February is known on Instagram as February. And I posted, just like everyone else that was following along with the hashtag, you know, when there's a prompt, you post. Well, one of the days was what's your what in your queue on Ravelry. And as anyone who watches this knows, I'm on Ravelry because I own patterns there and it's a free site to be on. I am not on there anymore than I have to be. And that I know of, I don't have a queue there. I may, but you know, it's not something that I'm on there, and I wasn't going to post on my Instagram about Ravelry. So instead, I had seen someone else who is in the same predicament that I am post a picture that just said, because of their stance on politics, I am no longer on there. And my thought on that is, if you're going to ban one politics, you're going to ban all politics, because that way fair is fair. Of course, I don't need any comments. Yes, I know Ravelry has its own thing and Ravelry can do its own thing, and this is old news. But somebody started to attack me on that, and I just went, you know, you do you. If you weren't hurt by it and you want to be on Ravelry, I am not forcing you to do anything. You are an adult. Act like it. And basically said, if you don't like my post, scroll on by. And they're like, well, that's not how hashtags work. And I'm like, no, that's how adulting works. And I don't mince words on that. I'm not going to fight with you online. You do you. All is good. I am not there to upset your apple cart in any way, shape, or form. Don't upset mine. Your freedom stops at my nose. My freedom stops at your nose. Don't go further. And everyone has a nose. And we all know how to use it, right? Mm-hmm. So, I thought that was it. Well, it wasn't. And I posted this picture. I had just gotten something in from Amazon and my cats jumped in the box. And I posted this picture on Instagram, and I'll try and put it up over here if I can figure out my editing in any way, shape, or form. Done it once, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But this is Cupid and Gandalf playing in the box. I think one of them is inside the box. And here they are, more inspecting the box. And I posted on there something to the tune of, cats are like children. You buy them all the toys you want. They still want to play in the box. And instead of scrolling by, because I don't even know if this was the same person, but she wrote back to me, or he, I'm not exactly sure. It also adds to the ambiance of the slovenly trailer trash theme that you have in your home. Okay, personal attack. Kind of went, well, yeah, I live in a mobile home. I've never made any qualms about that, but it's paid for, it's mine, and it's not slovenly. I don't have trash all over the place. I don't have, you know, I keep it as clean as I can. It's less than 1,000 square feet, and we have a lot of stuff. So other than, you know, having stuff and clutter, it's not filthy. So I didn't understand. And a lot of people backed me up on that, and I felt good, and I will say thank you. But the next thing they posted when I, you know, hey, don't be an asshole kind of thing, was, hey, I'm just speaking the truth. For someone who posts about how much you knit, maybe you should take some time to clean instead of living like a disgusting hoarder. I guess since you ate your way through your R&Y to become morbidly obese again, you really are a slob. You seem to be proud of it too. Yuck, you gross me out completely. And I wrote, when? What? Why aren't you just scrolling by? I said, this must be the same person. And they came back and said, yes, I have more than one account. You have been incredibly mean and cruel to me, and I'm just sending a little bit of it back out to you. Of course, then I said, when? I also sent it to Instagram because that's a personal attack, and I thought bullying and personal attacks were not allowed on Instagram. And I asked for screenshots of when I was mean or cruel to them in any way, shape, or form, and I called bullshit on, you know, if I smell it, I'm gonna say it's there. And the response that I got from Instagram was that nothing went against their community rules. If they think that I made a mistake, try again. Well, I sent the actual post, so I guess their terms of an attack is different than mine. And, or maybe, you know, weight is the last discrimination that's perfectly okay to talk about. But according to their rules is they want to foster a positive, diverse community. They remove content that contains credible threats or hate speech, content that targets private individuals to degrade or shame them. How is what she posted to me not shameful? Or trying to shame me? Personal information meant to blackmail or harass someone, and repeated unwanted messages. And it goes on and on and on. Okay, they don't want to do anything about it. My account was private, and I have since blocked both of these accounts. I'm not sure if they're going to come out. So let's address the elephant in the room, so to say, is my weight gain. No, I am not back up to where I was when I had surgery. I am well over 100 pounds down still, even with regain. Do I need to lose weight? Yes. Is that up to someone on the internet to tell me? No. Is that up to my doctor and I? Yes. Do I have other health concerns that you have no idea about? Yes. Have I been open and honest about everything to deal with my weight gain? Yeah. Have I been open and honest everything to deal with prior to weight loss surgery? Yes. Am I open and honest about having had surgery? Yes. I am one of the few in the community that have told it all. And I was a public, in its own way, small fish, big pond kind of thing. Right before I had surgery. People listened to me on the High Fiber Diet audio podcast from 2008. I had gallbladder surgery, I had a hysterectomy, I had massive knee surgeries on both legs, had to have another knee surgery right before I had my stomach surgery. They were with me during the 18 months before I had surgery of going through all the dieting that I had to, trying to lose weight, everything else, being diagnosed with other things along with it, and wrong diagnosis, and put on meds that made me gain weight. And that's one of the things with what I've been doing is one of the meds that I've been on, one of the sides is weight gain. And as much as you want to lose weight, you're gaining weight. And of course, the depression. A lot of people are home, but how many are home alone? And yeah, I see my husband 2 days, maybe 3 days out of the month. He's been gone since this all started. yeah, I have a gym in the house, but I also have a fridge in the house. And am I eating above and beyond? No. I track all of my food. I always have. And I was getting comments on my Fitness Pal from people who don't know me from Adam and telling me I wasn't eating enough. Well, that's not up to you. That's up to my doctor and myself and the surgery that I had. Every body is different and everybody is different. But to be attacked like this, to say that I have eaten around my surgery or I have eaten back up to morbid obesity is wrong. What you see on screen is not all of me. And what you perceive is what your perception. So the person who said those things, that's on them. I can lose weight, you're an ass. And that's just how it is. I have proven that I can lose weight, but when I'm on doctor ordered prescriptions for certain things, and this is a doctor that works with me both on my regular, and she also works with me in bariatrics, but it's nobody's concern. And I'm addressing this because it was brought into the public, and I know I am overweight. Do they know they are rude and arrogant and a jerk? Do they even think that what they did might have hurt someone else? Or do they care? Is it all about them? And if they want to come forward and say, I hurt you here and here and here and here, I want the proof. Because I don't go on the internet to hurt people. I don't have enough time in my life to do that. But I will not sit idly by and be hurt myself. And that different social media that I'm already backing away from quite a bit, but this is my only contact with people right now. They don't stand up for us, or they didn't stand up for me. And that's bullshit. I did what I was supposed to do by reporting the post, and that they said that they found nothing wrong with a post that was only posted in a way to shame me. I am not a hoarder. I am not slovenly. I may be overweight, but the way it was said was with intent to harm. And that's wrong. And I figured I needed to talk about it. I've been quiet for a couple weeks. This happened a couple weeks ago. I had to go through this. I knew there were other things going on that I just had to deal with. My oldest grandson turned 18. The next one just got the keys to his car. He turned 16. Daughter, Boo, bought her house, got moved in. We had the first night out over there to see them. Beautiful home, lovely. All of us together, that was wonderful. Even Sarge came home, and so I got to talk with him. And his words to me were, not many people stand up and say, hey, this fucking happened to me. It needs to stop. And I'm saying it. If you are okay with mob mentality and with attacking someone just because they have a different political view, or because they gained a little bit of weight, or they lost too much weight, and who's to say on that either? I wasn't overly skinny at any point. I was still healthy. And I was being told by people, not my doctor, to stop losing weight. It was getting too small. And sometimes I wonder if those are the people that I was no longer their food eating friend. We didn't go out for tacos and margaritas anymore. And I did find in the last 5 years who my true friends are. And things have changed because I changed. And I'm okay with change. I am not okay with being attacked. And I don't understand it. I was never one in school that teased or attacked. I tried to protect. And this isn't school anymore. This isn't elementary school. This isn't even junior high where the worst of it comes out because everyone's hormones are in overdrive in junior high. But I was bullied back then, but I'm not going to put up with it at almost 52 years old. It's just not going to happen. I am a moderator on a bariatric group online, and I did post in there about what had happened. And it seems to be the last shaming that is an okay thing to shame about. You don't shame people about a stutter. You don't shame people about, you know, living in a certain way, except this person tried to. You don't shame people about, you know, the size of their nose or, you know, the this, that, or the other. But wait, whether it be one end of the spectrum or the other seems to be absolutely okay, and even more so in certain cultures. And I don't get it. And they think it's just, well, we're trying to get you to be healthier. Who the hell are you to try and get me to be healthier? You're not my doctor. I'm not just sitting on the couch doing nothing. Yeah, I knit a lot. Do you watch TV? Do you just sit there and play with your phone when you watch TV? Well, I don't. I end up with sweaters and blankets and things for my wall and things to give newborn babies. And I just don't get it. And so I figured I would take a few moments and talk about it. And I'm not looking for anything to go anywhere about it. I'm trying to keep names gone. Of course, I never took down the things. They're up on Instagram. You can find them. They did happen during February. But don't do this. If you don't like someone, scroll on by. If you don't like this video, scroll on by. Because frankly, if you give me a down, I still get, that still goes into the algorithm of, you know, putting me up there. Hey, Amazon's here. Yeah. It, just don't. I'm putting myself out there and I'm probably going to get comments. I don't care. You can see the little ears. He's right there. He's in his little bucket. Hey, you. Do you see him? Push it down. Oh, there he is. His little face. Okay, let's get into the gadget because I'm upset about this and I'm trying not, I'm a very verbal person. And I'm trying not to get more verbal than I could be, so I apologize. But I do have a gadget this week, and it's in this little container. I was having a problem on both my iPhone and my iPad. Now my iPad's a Pro, so I have to get the adapter that goes from Lightning to Pro, and I can get that, so I've ordered it. But this little device right here is a flash drive that has a USB on one side and a Lightning plug on the other. And I have pulled off on this one, I think this is a 256 gig. Yeah, 256 gig. And I've pulled off about 8,000 photos off my phone, and my phone works so much better. But what I can do with these is I only pulled the ones that I wanted to keep. The rest of them I just deleted because if they aren't worth keeping, they aren't worth having, unless it's something like, you know, that, you know, I need to put it into a document or something like that, but I still pulled them off into a different folder. This is by Yeah, I don't even know the name of it. It was on Amazon for like 20 bucks. It doesn't have a name. All it says is flash drive. USB on one side and lightning on the other. There's no other name on this that I can see. But it is to pull off videos and be able to put them on your regular computer. Or I picked up some picture frames that are the digital picture frames, and this will go right in to, and it does Android as well. So if you pull down the USB, you can do Android, or you can flip it up and have the USB complete. But I can put it onto a digital frame, and I've just ordered those, and hopefully it'll just, you know, I don't have to have an extra SD card. I never have to put this on the computer unless I want to. And it's just like any other flash drive. You plug it in every once in a while and the information stays. And I will be taking it up to the local, I don't know, Walgreens, Myers, somewhere, and getting some of them printed for our walls. We need some new pictures. Mostly it's been, hey, see my phone? Here you go. Here's the pictures. Well, I actually need some in print. Going through photos of my mom and my dad and my brothers and sisters. Of course, they're not digital. They're in person. And it was so nice to have them. But it's also nice to have a phone that works as fast as it's supposed to, because it doesn't have 8,000 photos on it anymore. And so just like, buy me one. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy, you know, they're inexpensive. I want to say it was less than 20 bucks. I mean, you can get a bigger one, of course. I think some of them ran 57 or something like that. But this one works. And that is my gadget for this week, is getting my devices, because I don't need all of that. When I left Ravelry, I downloaded screenshots of every single project, so I had all my notes. And that is part of what's on this, so that I can take that to Staples and get a book. And I had over 300. Yeah, I think it was over 300. Might have been closer to 4. But anyways, projects on Ravelry. And I wanted all my notes. I wanted all my information. And so I screenshot everything before deleting it. And I'm going to get that put into a book at Staples and have it bound so that I have from 2007, which actually my wedding dress was on there too, so 2002, all the way through 2020 when I decided that was that. And so that's all of my project, all of my notes, all of my information. Of course, my patterns are still there on Ravelry, and yeah, if I want to go download one, I will, but I don't really play in any of the forums or anything like that anymore. It is just a user tool for me. You do you. But this will allow me to get that book made. It will allow me to get pictures printed. It'll also allow me to do more editing, because my computer has different editing software than what the iOSs have, and I prefer my software on my computer. So yeah, I think other than that, I have a couple sweaters planned that I'm going to be working on. I do have that granny ripple. I didn't touch it at all. Didn't really have a recipe this week. The doc has me on 2 shakes a day right now, and we're weaning me off the medication that I was on and finding another one that does not have the side effects of weight gain. I have stopped drinking. My problem during 2017 was, one of the things with RNY is, or any bariatric, is you have the tendency to fall into another area of addiction. And it was getting to the point where 1 drink wasn't enough, or 1 bottle wasn't enough. And thank God I wasn't driving or going anywhere, because it got bad. And being RNY, I'm 1 shot floor. And then 15 minutes later, I'm almost completely sober. Not that my blood sugar says it, but my body would say it. And I, at the beginning of the year, stopped drinking. I don't even have the 1 sip of wine, the 2 fingers of whiskey, anything. There's no alcohol in my house. There's no alcohol even in my mouthwash. There's just no alcohol. Well, there's rubbing alcohol, but I know better than that. I was having a problem. I will not say that I had alcoholism. I would say that if I hadn't stopped, that would have come out. And that also puts on weight gain. And I thought about it, had a heart-to-heart with Sarge, and we both agreed that no alcohol in the house, no, and it's not been a problem. I think the first couple days there was a want. This last weekend with the kids, they were drinking. Not me. No, I just had a tea. I'm good. Or I had a Diet Dr. Pepper, one of the two. Occasionally I will have a soda. They're far and few. I don't drink soda in the house. Soda's outside of the house only. Because even diet soda is a bad soda. So, you know, you have a treat every once in a while and that's fine. But the key thing was getting my liver cleared out so that I can begin the trek again to, and I've never been one that I'm like, I'm going to go eat and I'm going to go do this and do that. Even during all this time, I've still exercised. Have I been as diligent as I have in the past? No. But I'm getting there again. Am I going to be as hardcore as I was in the past? No. Probably not, because I can't let it overtake my life. I have to work and be a wife and other things. It can't just be all about me. I guess that's it for right now. And I'll get this posted as quickly as I can. And I hope you guys have a good couple of weeks, and I'll talk to you then. Until then, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet.